coming from a school in the area, just a Class 1A school. You know, you're playing in games that have less than 1,000 people at them at the high school level. What's it going to be like for you, play at Acrisure Stadium next fall?
Really, it's about the same. I don't really pay attention to the fans and things like that. I'm locked into the game at all times. And, even though I go to like a little school, the atmosphere was always, pretty loud and things like that. Our hometown was always for football and for the, school sports and stuff like that. So really just I'll focus in on the game and won't worry about a lot of that.
Braylan, are you the first Leechburg athlete play D1 football since your father? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, he was 1993. He went to Rutgers, played there.
So what's the reaction around town to you coming down here to play football at Pitt?
Well, really a lot of like the younger kids, they look up to me and things like that. They try to model after me, which is really an honor, to be a model for those guys. But yeah, it's just an honor to be a model for those guys, and for them to see what I do, they can, be the next people up to do it. A lot of people say because we go to a small school, we're not going to make it big and things like that. But, to be able to let the younger kids see that they really can is, that's just been my big goal of mine, to show the younger kids that they can do it no matter where they go.
Small school football in Western Pennsylvania, you're playing offense, defense, special teams. How excited are you to just play on one side of the ball now?
I'm actually really excited because, I can really focus on my craft on just the one side and become the best I can at what I do.
Do you sign autographs for people, for little kids when you go to games and stuff?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, after the game, they open the gate to the field and all the little kids come rushing out with footballs and T-shirts and things like that. And then they always have a marker ready. So.
How does that feel to do that?
Oh, that's a great feeling, just to see how many people, are supporting me and looking up to me is just a great feeling.
Braylan, what kind of family pride do you have following your dad and having this opportunity?
Oh, really, it's a great pride, to be able to do what he did coming out of Leechburg. I always have a big family support, things like that. Always at the games, my family's always there. Things like my dad's been coaching me since I was a very young kid. So to be able to do what he did is just an honor.
Braylan, when you were going through this recruiting process and finally decided Pitt was it for you, what led you to that decision? And now that you've been here for a little bit, what's your experience been like so far?
Well, the big decision was for me is, Pitt's always been a dream school of mine. From here, watching Pitt games all the time. We've had season tickets since I was young. Always watching them. I've always imagined myself in the jersey, things like that. Really when I came on my visit here, they brought me in like a family. I wasn't even committed or anything like that. I just had got the offer, but all the players and coaches brought me in like a family. And then just getting here now, I've already bought into what they do. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of getting to know things, but they've excelled my knowledge of football, with everything. So.
Who's your favorite Pitt player of all time?
Favorite Pitt player of all time? I'd have to say either Tony Dorsett or Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay. Were you even alive when Larry Fitzgerald was playing here? I know you weren't alive with Tony Dorsett.
Oh. No, I don't think so.
So how do you learn about them? Just watching highlights on YouTube, reading about them?
Yeah, and then seeing he's all over the Pitt campus. So really, and I see what he does in the NFL, what he did in the NFL. And then when you look at highlight videos of Pitt history, Larry Fitzgerald and Tony Dorsett, they're all over it. And to see what they were doing is just amazing.
Braylan, is there a Pitt linebacker like Servassier or somebody that you really identify with that you saw in this defense that you think you could be that type of player?
Probably Bengali Kamara. We're really about the same, build, I'd say. He plays the star position, but he can also play the money position, which is where the two positions they have me to play at right now. So, and he fits very well, things like that. So.
Did your father teach you about the demands of big-time college football?
Yeah, as I got older, he did. He told me a lot of things like it doesn't matter like where you're from, you're still there to do the same job as everybody else, and you're always fighting for a spot, and never have a solid spot. So he's always told me, just focus on myself and not really worry about what the other players are doing.
On that note of not mattering where you're from, I mean, you're coming from somewhere where you were the guy. You were the big fish in a very small pond. What's it going to be like for you now being on a team with a whole bunch of other Division I talent, something that you've never really experienced?
Really, just starting over again, from my freshman year in high school. I got to build my way up to gain that respect here. Really just starting over, keeping the same mindset that, to be the best, you got to be around the best, and that's where I'm at.
What's been the toughest transition so far? Has it been tougher transitioning to being like a college student, classes and that schedule, or transitioning to the stuff they're asking you to do here in the weight room and learning the defense?
Probably the classroom, because where I'm from, it's K through 12 and all in one building. So to get to class, it's like just a step away. But now I got to walk up hills or walk all the way down the road and things like that. And the defense side, we really ran like the same coverages, same blitzes, and I got it in my sophomore year, and it was all like very simple to like a high school effect. But Pitt's defense, we more ran like NFL, like professionals and stuff like that. So that's really something I gotta hone in on.
Braylan, how many in your graduating class?
I believe it's in the high 40s or the low 50s. Yeah.
What did you give up to enroll early, like high school stuff, senior year stuff?
Just basketball, like the last half of the basketball season.
You played first part of
Yeah.
the season?
Yeah, 1,000-point score.
Pardon me?
1,000-point score.
How happy were you to get that under your belt before you came over here to Pitt?
Yeah, I was very excited, and especially because I didn't really know it was coming up. At the start of the season, I did my how many points I've had in my career. But then I thought I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I'm only playing a select few amount of games, and then I guess I just balled out during those games and I got it really.
How did your basketball coach take the news that you weren't going to play the most important part of the season?
Well, I've known him all my life. We're very close. His son was my best friend growing up, so I was very close with him. But he was sad, but also excited for me because he was losing a player, but also like I'd say like a role model kind of for the teams. I try to lead the team at all times, but he's very excited to see what I'm doing. He's excited to see what I have in the future.
Was it tough for you to leave?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. That's all those people. That's all they've all I known. All the teachers and stuff like that. But just being here now, everybody's taking care of me, make sure I'm all right and things like that. So.
Yeah. Braylan, at Leechburg, I think you only won one playoff game in 4 years there. I mean, how excited are you now to be at a program where the goal is to compete for a conference championship and possibly make it into the playoff?
Really very excited, because the competitive level, goes way up. It's a college atmosphere now, not a high school. So really just very excited to do that and be able to compete at the top level.
Braylan, if my research is right, you were recruited by a few Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have an opportunity to get that level of education versus coming to play college football in a Power 5, was that a tough decision to make at the end of the day, or where do you feel you stood within all of that?
Yeah, it was kind of a tough decision, because, they say student before athlete, as it's listed. But really, I knew I could get a very good education here, here at Pitt, and I can also play, Power 5 football. So.
What are you going to be studying?
Right now, I have it as marketing, but it could switch. Never know.
You mentioned your first impressions just of kind of fitting into Pitt's defense, but just how do you feel like you personally at the linebacker position are going to fit into this D, and how would you describe yourself, your attributes at the position as well?
I think I'll fit very well, especially since the guy I listed before, Bengali Kamara, we're the same fit, kind of like a outside backer, safety hybrid, be able to move, and things like that, but also cover. So, and I could read the tailback. Being from the tailback, I see where they want to go and things like that. Be able to. And then for 7-on-7, I was playing safety, so be able to read quarterbacks' eyes and things like that, and their shoulder movements. So.
What did you play in high school? What position was?
Running back and linebacker. I played both sides of the
You
ball.
playing safety in high school?
For like the 7-on-7 in the summer,
Just that.
yeah, they put me back there so the younger guys could get more reps inside the middle linebacker.
Anything additional?
How much do you weigh now? You got it weight?
210. Yeah.
Where was your favorite away high school venue throughout your 4 years in the Whitfield?
I'd probably have to say North Allegheny. That's where we played for our first playoff game. Our second playoff game my junior year, actually. Really it's just because it's a big difference from single A stadiums to whatever. They're very high A. So, they had a video board of replaying stuff like that. Like, I only see that here at Acrisure, so.
Was that the biggest stadium you've ever played in?
Yeah, most definitely.